Have you taught Lips the Fish, Eagle Eye, or Stretchy Snake yet during your guided reading groups? Despite these funny names to these decoding strategies, they are so important. If you're ready to teach these strategies to your students in your classroom, keep on watching for some great tips and information. Also, please click that subscribe button and click that little bell right next to it to be alerted every time my new videos go live. Hey there, if you're new here, my name is Anna. I was a teacher for 23 years, and on this channel, I provide professional development videos to help teachers improve their craft by learning tips and strategies for rigorous and streamlined small group instruction. So again, if these are the types of videos that interest you, don't forget to click that subscribe button and of course that little bell right next to it to be alerted every time my videos go live every single Sunday. So let's jump into today's video. Today we're going deep and we're going to learn all about Chunky Monkey. Which reading strategies should you introduce to your emergent readers? Most teachers ask themselves that question. Of course, the basic strategies like Eagle Eye and Lips the Fish will help your new readers as they begin the process of learning to decode unknown words. But what about a strategy like Chunky Monkey? Chunky Monkey, this is a little bit of an advanced strategy, and maybe it might be a little bit too advanced for your level A and B emergent readers. But students who are at level C or above, they're usually ready to learn this important reading strategy. Now, that's not to say that you can't teach Chunky Monkey to your A or B readers. I'm not saying you can't, but you really have to base your decisions on which strategies you teach your emergent readers based on how they're progressing in your group, how they're functioning, how they are at attacking new words. All right? So today in this video, we are going to take a look at how you can teach Chunky Monkey to your level C and even a little bit higher emergent readers in your classroom. So, as we know, I do too, kids love monkeys. It's just a fact. They're funny, they're spontaneous, they always make us laugh. So the Chunky Monkey strategy fan is really cute and adorable, but don't let that fool you. Chunky Monkey is a hard worker. He helps your students identify recognizable chunks in new words that they encounter. The Chunky Monkey strategy can help your students grasp the concept that they can look for smaller words and easy chunks in words as they begin to try and figure out a new word and bigger words that they encounter as they're reading. Like Stretchy Snake, the Chunky Monkey strategy involves the graphophonic or visual cueing system. It reminds your readers to search for familiar phonics patterns within a word to help them solve it. The Chunky Monkey strategy will really be a lifelong decoding tool for your students, so be sure to introduce him, Chunky Monkey, as soon as they're ready. You know, it's fun to have like a little cute stuffed monkey, on display when you're introducing this particular strategy. I typically would do that during a whole class setting. But during small groups, you want to distribute your strategy fans and you want to have your students open up to Chunky Monkey. We want to explain that Chunky Monkey likes to find little words or easy chunks inside of words to help him figure out new words he doesn't know. So let's be like Chunky Monkey and look for some chunks in these words we don't know. Now, to introduce this skill, typically I'll do it whole group using a big book. And you teach and model how to use the Chunky Monkey strategy and pick out chunks your students already know. So when you're doing this either on a carpet or on your rug or whole group, you're going to want to use either a book or a pocket chart or a whiteboard, and you want to model how you can pull out chunks that will help your students solve the words. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take out a whiteboard. Now, again, I might do this with a big book. I might do this with a whiteboard or a chartboard or a pocket chart. So for today, we're just going to use a whiteboard since it's nice and easy. So what I'll do is if I have it on a whiteboard or a pocket chart, I'll have the word down that I want my students to look at. And I'll say, I'll either have it written again or I will write it down. So let's look at this word right here. All right, so we're going to start with this word. And I'm going to say, is there a short word or a word chunk that we can see in this word? Do you see any words inside of this word that you know? Are there any smaller words? Your kids will raise their hands. And we could say, well, what smaller word do you see in this word? And they'll say, well, I see at. And then it might even be good to use a different color. I see at. That's great. We have a smaller word inside of this word that we know. So we want to look at, we know at, we say at, and then what we want to do is we want to sound out the rest of the word. So we look at the first letter and we say, what letter is that? H. Who knows what sound the letter H makes? Okay, boys and girls, let's put that together. At, hat. Let's do it again. At, hat. So again, we want to look for smaller words inside of a bigger word. Great job, boys and girls. So do you see how Chunky Monkey helps us read words by finding the smaller chunks that we already know? It's a really cool strategy for us to learn. So let's try another one. How about we try this word? Can we look at this word and try and find a smaller word that we know in it or a smaller chunk? Do we see any other words in there that we already know? You'll call in a student. What word or chunk do you see inside of this word that you know? And they might say, I see the word it. Very good, boys and girls. We see the word it. It is a smaller chunk or smaller word inside of this word. Now that we know that this is it, let's put these two sounds together. What letter is this? S. What sound does S make? S. Good. Let's put this together. S. It. Sit. Let's do it again. S. It. Sit. Good job, boys and girls. So again, this is how Chunky Monkey helps us. Chunky Monkey helps us by helping us find the smaller chunks or smaller words in a bigger word. So what I want to do is I want to try it with even a harder word this time. So I'm going to erase my board again, or I'll have this in a pocket chart, but I want to erase this so it doesn't confuse them. So I'm going to write down the word sitting. So again, you could have this on a pocket chart, on little sentence strips, totally up to you. So I'm going to say, boys and girls, let's try this word. What chunks do you see inside of this word? This is a harder word. Do you see any chunks or word parts that you know? What do you see here? And they might say, Mrs. DeGilio, we see sit. So again, I want to use a different color. Very good. Look at that. There's a smaller word inside of this word. So we have the word sit. We know this is sit. So now, can we look at the rest of the word? Are there any other word parts that you know? What about this one? What sound does this word part make? Ing. So we know this is sit. We know this is ing. Let's see if we could sound it out. Sit, ting. Sit, ting. Very good. What word is this, boys and girls? Sitting. Excellent. So again, you're going to use Chunky Monkey to help you find smaller words or smaller chunks inside of the word. So let's look at Chunky Monkey on our strategy fan. It says, Chunky Monkey teaches us to look for chunks that we know in a word to help us figure it out. And when you're using this Chunky Monkey strategy, you should ask yourself, does it look right? So when you're saying the chunks in the word, say to yourself, does that chunk look right to what I'm saying? So that's how Chunky Monkey helps us. So let's look at how you might teach this strategy using a Level C book. This Level C book is called My School. This is part of my Guided Readers program. This is a Level C book. All of our books for guided readers are leveled by Fontes and Pinnell and Lexile.com. We are certified partners with them. And very quickly, before I show you how to include Chunky Monkey or teach Chunky Monkey within this book, let me tell you something very quickly. If you head over to guidedreaders.com and you register for a free account, you can download 4 complete free guided reading units for you to try and use in your classroom. So go over to guidedreaders.com after this video and just register for a free account. And once you register and you verify your email, you're going to go into the website and there's 4 complete guided reading units for you to use. The books are included, the lesson plans, the activities, the comprehension strategy, everything you need to teach those 4 particular books for your guided reading groups. So definitely head on over and check out Guided Readers and get 4 free guided reading units for you to try in your classroom. So let's get back to this. So now we're going to use this particular book called My School. It's a Level C reader. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to have all of my students at my table. So I'm going to say, boys and girls, open up, look at the cover of your book because we want to give them a little bit of context. We want to look at this book and say, boys and girls, what's happening on the front cover? What do you think this is about? We want to just make some quick predictions. Now, again, of course, I have my entire guided reading lesson that teaches you step by step throughout the entire story. But again, when you're teaching a specific skill, it really depends on the skill that you're teaching when you teach it. I have the strategy instruction more about midway through my lesson plan. But if I'm teaching them a specific skill, like Chunky Monkey, I might want to do that earlier on in the lesson plan. Because if they've read the whole book already and we finished, and then I go to teach my strategy, again, they already know the words. So I sometimes will change my lesson plan around and I'll bring my strategy instruction up to more of the beginning part of the lesson. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our students open up to their books to the first page. And we're going to say to them, boys and girls, let's look at this particular page in the book. So let's look at our picture. Let's see what's happening. What's going on here? What do you think is happening? We want to give them a little bit of context. So they know this is about school because they see a school in the picture. What do you think is going on with this little boy and all of these little children? What do you think is happening? Now let's look at the words on the page. Let's look at this first word. Now, I may block the rest of the words on the book like this. Because sometimes when they're looking at all of the words on the page, I might say to them, boy, it might be confusing for them. So I'll have them covered with either a sticky note or my little sticky flags. So again, if I know I'm going to teach the skill, I'll prep this before my students come to group. So now that we're looking at this page, I'll say, boys and girls, let's look at this first word on the page. Let's look at this first word. I want us to try and use our Chunky Monkey strategy to help us figure out this word. Do you see any words or smaller words or chunks in this particular word that can help you? Let's look at this word right here. If we look at this word, we could say, well, it starts with a TH. What sound does TH make? Let's do it together. Let's put it together. And it's also a sight word that we've worked on. This. Very good. This word is this. Let's see what the rest of the sentence says. This is my school. Good job, boys and girls. So you looked at that chunk. You looked for that small chunk in the word this because you know that the TH combination of letters makes the sound. So we put that chunk together because we knew it to figure out that word. Let's try another word. Let's look at this word over here. So let's look at this page. So we'll look at the picture. We'll have the picture help us. And let's start the sentence. You will see the, oh boy, that is a big word. I don't know what that word is. So let's, again, look at Chunky Monkey. Chunky Monkey helps us look for chunks in the words that we know. So let's look at this big word. Do we see any chunks inside of this word that we know? What chunks do you see in this word? And they might say, I see in. Good. I see in also. So what we're going to do now that we know that that's in, what I might do is take my whiteboard because I really want to focus on the sounds in the word. And of course, we want to also use our other strategies. So I might write down the whole entire word. And I'm going to say, boys and girls, you're right. We see the word or the chunk in right here. So we know that says in. Now that we know that there's a chunk in there, is there another strategy that might be able to help us with this really big word? What other strategy can we use? We could use stretchy snake. Let's stretch out this word. And again, I always have my props near me. So I'll say, okay, let's use stretchy snake. Since I know we're using chunky monkey to pick out chunks in the word, let's also bring on stretchy snake. What do we know about stretchy snake? Stretchy snake helps us stretch out the words. So what sound do these two letters make together? Purr. What sound does it make? Purr. So I'm going to say, okay, so far we have purr in. Let's put those together. Prin. Okay, prin. You will see the prin. That's a hard word, the rest of the word. So we're going to try, again, different strategies. We're going to continue to decode that word. We're going to look at the picture. Who do you see in a school? Again, let's use our eagle eye and look at our picture. Who do you see in a school? Well, these are students, and they're looking around, and it said, you will see the prin. We're getting our lips ready. We're even using lips the fish. You will see the principal. Good job. So when you're teaching Chunky Monkey, it's important to understand that sometimes when you have those bigger words, you also want to bring in the other strategies you've already taught. That's the reason why Chunky Monkey doesn't come until after you introduce Lips the fish, Stretchy Snake, and Eagle Eye. You want them to use those other three strategies while they're also trying to use Chunky Monkey. Because remember, Chunky Monkey, they usually use those on bigger words or maybe words that they're just not sure how to decode. So it's important that they find the chunks that they know in the word and then use their other strategies. So important. And by demonstrating this to your students, it will really help them understand how these strategies work together to help them become great fluent readers. Okay, so now I'm going to say, boys and girls, let's turn to page 6. Let's see what we have going on here. Now, for this particular story, again, if I have the picture showing, the picture might give them this word because they're going to be using their eagle eye. So I could sometimes even block the pictures with a larger sticky note, or maybe what I'll do is I'll even take another book and just kind of block the picture. I might do this and might just use my own book as a sample because sometimes they're good at using eagle eye. They're starting to use those other strategies. So if I want them to only focus on the words and using Chunky Monkey, I might have to block out the pictures. So maybe you don't do this with a book. Maybe you use a whiteboard or maybe you use a pocket chart. It really depends on how you want to teach it. I do like to teach it with books only because it also allows us to bring in eagle eye, stretchy snake, and lips the fish because we want to show how all of these strategies work together. So I'll say, okay, boys and girls, let's look at this particular story. Notice I have the picture covered. Let's start reading this sentence. You will see now those are, again, all of our sight words that we know. This is a really big word. Oh my goodness, this is a big word. Are there any chunks that you see or you know in this word? Well, how about in the beginning? What two letters do you see in the beginning of that word? P-L. What sound do those two letters make when you blend them together? Pull, pull. You can hear that pull sound like in apple or people. So now let's look at the next part. We have an A-Y. Does anyone know what sound the A-Y makes? Maybe they know. It's possible. Even though it's a level C reader, they might know. A, it's a long A sound. So this says, you will see the play. All right, we've got half the word. Let's look for another chunk. What are the next two letters? G-R. What sound do those make together? Grr. What sound? grrr. So let's put this together. You will see the playground. So we've got most of the word already, and it's a really long word. Maybe we could start using another strategy right now because we have half of the word. Maybe Eagle Eye can help us. You will see the playground. What is this picture? It's a playground. So not only did you use chunky monkey to sound out the PL, the AY, and the GR, and you looked for those little small chunks in the word, but then you also used your eagle eye to find clues in the picture to figure out the word was playground. So this is how you want to teach, or one way you can teach the chunky monkey strategy. Again, you don't have to do it with a book. You can do it on a whiteboard. You can do it with a pocket chart. Again, the reason why I like to do it with a book, and like I said, maybe cover the picture, is because I want them to understand that these strategies that they're learning on their strategy fans work together in unison. They help you solve what you don't understand or know or are able to decode in a book. So that's why we really want to focus on using the other strategies at the same time as you're introducing another strategy like Chunky Monkey. So it's really important to show how these strategies work together in tandem. That's really what we want them to see, is that these strategies together really help you figure out the big picture of what you're reading. Now, this book, My School, has some other words in it that are great for practicing these strategies. So your students can really break down the chunks. They could break down the chunks in the word janitor, which is coming up, or maybe even the word teachers. There's plenty of opportunities in this book for your students to really use and apply the Chunky Monkey strategy. So your students have some hard work ahead of them, but I know they're up for the challenge, and I know you're up to the challenge of teaching them. But I know sometimes you might feel a little overwhelmed at the size of the task. Maybe you're a little tired or stressed out trying to constantly lesson plan for all of your different groups, keep them engaged, and get them excited about what they're reading as well. So again, I really just want to stress that if you have a moment, check out guidedreaders.com. This is my online guided reading program that's going to save you time, increase your confidence with guided reading instruction, and help you take your guided reading instruction to the next levels. So again, Guided Readers was created by me. I was a teacher for 23 years. That's a lot of trial and error. And Guided Readers was created to take your students from learning to read to reading to learn. And again, I've heard so many teachers who are loving the engaging text. I mean, these last couple of videos I've been showing you were all just A, B, and C videos. Currently at the recording of this video, we have all the way up through Q level readers. But with over the next 6 months, we are gonna have all the way up to Z. So again, Guided Readers takes the guesswork out of what to teach and how to teach it, giving you a streamlined, consistent framework for your literacy instruction. And again, lastly, don't forget, all of our readers are professionally leveled by Fontes and Pinnell and Lexile. And I know your students are going to love them. But best of all, honestly, I know you're going to love them. I know you're going to love Guided Readers because it gives you what you need to really implement an effective guided reading program in your classroom. It includes everything you need: phonics, comprehension, vocabulary, reading fluency, and of course, guided writing. It's all in there, complete, done for you tool for teaching your guided reading groups. And you can do this. I know you can. And I know once you get it, you're going to just rock your literacy instruction. So what I want to ask you again and let you know is that you can go over to Guided Readers and get 4 complete guided reading units for you to use in your own classroom for free. All you have to do is go over to guidedreaders.com, register for a free account, and you can download 4 complete guided reading units for free. And try it out in your classroom first. See what it's like. See what the materials look like. Check out what the lesson plans look like. Check out how to teach using these lesson plans. Again, they're all streamlined lesson plans from your emergent readers up to your fluent readers. They're streamlined. There's no guesswork. You don't have to figure out what you're going to teach or how you're going to teach. Everything is there for you. So, if you are ready to ignite that spark of learning and truly rock your literacy instruction, then remember, please click that link in the description below and check out Guided Readers. We're here for you and we are ready to help you nail your guided reading instruction. And again, please subscribe, click that bell, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, because that says to me, I like this video, I want more. And don't forget to comment below. I ask questions. I love answering your questions on video. So please feel free to ask questions and just engage with me. I love engaging with my followers that follow me on YouTube and watch my videos. I just love doing this for teachers. So again, I hope you'll click that subscribe button and the little bell next to it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our lesson on Chunky Monkey, and I will see you in the next video where we're going to dive deep into Flippy Dolphin. So again, I thank you so much for watching. I hope I'll see you in the next video, and have fun teaching. Bye for now, guys.